Welcome to One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. Listen, I love doing this show, but I love it even more when we have someone I'm a huge fan of, and here he is right here. Federico Castelluccio. He's a painter, he's an actor, he's a director, he's an artist. He's going to talk about his art, but you know him also from his work on The Sopranos. He played Furio.
Furio Giunta.
Yeah, yeah. What a wonderful role, what a wonderful artist you are. I want to thank you. You honor us by being here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's an honor to be here. Really, this is like my old stomping ground.
Tell everyone about, we were just talking before we got here, your Patterson, we're taping in beautiful Patterson, New Jersey, your Patterson connection.
Absolutely. Well, I was born in Naples, Italy. I came here in 1968. I was like 3.5 with my family. I came here and grew up like in walking distance from this studio on 21st Ave, Patterson. Wow. And what was interesting, you know, we talked a little bit about Sopranos before. Yeah. I wound up doing a scene where my character gets shot right on 21st Ave, right where they found a location in Patterson on 21st Ave where my character winds up getting shot. And that wasn't a mistake, I found out later on. It was one of our locations managers that found out that I grew up there and then found that location. It's still there. It's a coffee shop, you know, cafe they call it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We'll come back and talk about it a little bit later. Do you mind if we talk about your artwork?
I would love to, yeah. Let's talk about that.
You've been an artist all the way back.
Yeah.
Was that your first love?
My first love, absolutely.
When?
Ever since I can remember. When I was in Italy, my first inspiration, I guess, was my brother and my sister. You know, I watched them draw and paint, and I would get very excited watching them. And I knew that there was something in me at the time that had to come out as well. Even at that very young age, very early age, it was very, you know, visual. I mean, I remember the light coming in from different parts of the house that we lived in Naples, and the type of doorknob it was, this type of doorknob. You know, it's really a very visual childhood, very visual memory I have of my childhood.
You saw things and saw things differently than you think other children did that made it clear to you that art, listen, I didn't see things that way growing up in Newark. I just saw a doorknob. I didn't see that, so yeah. I knew I wasn't an artist. Did you know that you had to express yourself differently?
I think so. I think I maybe didn't know how to express it as a child, but I knew that someday I would be living my life as an artist, as a painter, and probably other things as well.
And describe your education in connection with art.
My education, I studied at, well, I went to high school at Passaic County Tech. Now, I don't know, they changed the name so many times, I don't know what it's called now. But anyway, they
technical school.
Technical school, right. But they had a fantastic art program. And from that point, I kind of built a portfolio and wound up winning a scholarship to the School of Visual Arts in New York City.
Great school.
It's a fantastic school, and I really got a lot out of it. I mean, I learned the basics and, you know, of humanities, and also drawing techniques and painting techniques and things that I already had an innate talent to start with, but that kind of helped me develop it even further.
Did you say to yourself, I'm going to make a career out of this?
Yes, I did. Yes. Early on I did, and there was a fleeting moment where I wanted to be an auto mechanic.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Don't ask me why.
In the middle of all this.
In the middle of all that.
Did you love cars?
I loved cars, yeah, I loved cars, but I was also building model cars. You know, when we were kids, we were building model cars, and I found out that I was actually painting them better than I built them. So, you know, I said that was just a fleeting moment of a thought that I, you know.
Okay, well, we do not have pictures of your model cars, but we do have pictures of some of your art. Okay?
Sure.
As we put up some of your artwork, could you talk to us about it?
Of course. This is in my studio. I'm working with one source lighting on my subject and also on my paints. And I'm doing a memento mori here, which is a
memento mori.
Memento mori. It's known in the Renaissance and in the Baroque period as a reminder of our mortality, that you know, everything is here now, and so you basically make the best of it. You know, live life to the fullest.
And this
is very interesting. This was
big smile on your face. Why?
Yeah, no, this because in 2012 I decided to do a narrative through a still life, and if you look at this was called Out with the Red, In with the Black. And it was basically a statement on our economy. If you look at the dollar bill, it's pointing down, a triangle. And then you have this butterfly that's very tenuous and can fly away at any moment if we want it to. And then there's a very solid arrowhead that's made out of probably onyx. And that is pointing straight upward, hopefully in the hopes that, that our economy would get better. And then the coins on the bottom, most people like say, what do the coins mean? Well, basically it's the date. I dated it with the coins, 2012, and there's a penny on the center, on the bottom in the shadow.
Are you political in your art?
Not really, no, but every once in a while something gets to me, and then I maybe answer it through my paintings.
Interesting.
Basically, this is a whimsical, it's a trompe-l'oeil. Basically, how I work is from life. Everything that I do is...
You can't use these expressions that I don't know.
Okay, it's a French term for trompe-l'oeil, meaning fool the eye. And
fool the
eye. Basically, this is flat objects on a flat surface kind of create an illusion of three-dimensionality. And this is what you have here. That painting is on canvas. It's not on wood. I mean, I actually painted the wood grain,
right,
and the cartellino in the bottom. Kind of, it's kind of a, I'll tell you the title of it. It's called Pointer, because of the dog. And you have the dog pointing in one direction and the hand pointing in the other direction. I like using humor as well in my work.
And we're about to transition to a fascinating story that you've been living. The artist that means a great deal to you, that is connected to this very powerful experience in your life. Mm-hmm. Who is that as you begin to transition to this story that is so unbelievable?
Okay, there are many painters from the Baroque period, but one in particular is Giovanni Francesco Barbieri, called Il Guercino, the squinter. The reason why they call him
Il
the squinter,
Guercino.
Il Guercino. Guercino.
Il Guercino.
In Italian, guercio means to squint, and that was a very kind way of saying that he had a cross eye.
Yes.
So his one eye was crossed, probably from a sickness when he was in early age. His dates were from 1591 to 1666. And he was a favorite of mine over the years, and when I was studying art, I wound up doing a paper on him as well. And anywhere I went in the world, wherever it was, I would find a museum or a church or a cathedral that had Guercino's paintings in them.
And you're in Germany, and what happens?
Well, I'm in Germany. What happens is I'm visiting the Städel and many art galleries that Yvonne, my better half, was taking me around. She's German, and I went to meet her family. And so we're driving by this little, what looked like a little antique shop, but it was actually an auction house. And I said, stop the car. We went in. They allowed us to come in, take a look around. The place was actually closing down for the evening, and they were setting up for their next exhibit or next auction. And so the gentleman said, sure, go upstairs, maybe take a look at a few paintings. And on the landing, before I went to the second floor, there are these paintings stacked up against each other. And one of them, when I pulled the paintings in front of me, was by this master. In my opinion, the second I saw this painting, I recognized the master immediately, even though it was covered with years of yellowing varnish and campaigns of restoration and overpaint. Now, this is not just by happenstance. I mean, it is happenstance that I walked into the place and found the painting, but to identify the painting when it was in that condition, it's not very easy, and a lot of experts have told me that over the years.
Who is that artist?
That is Giovanni Francesco Barbieri, Il Guercino. In a split second. And I turned to Yvonne and I said, this is by Guercino. This painting is by Guercino. And I asked the gentleman there that was working there, I asked him what he knew about the painting.
Right.
And he basically said it was 18th century, which was not correct.
It is not correct?
It was 17th century, 100 years earlier.
That's right.
And that it was cut down. The painting was not cut down because that is called a half-length format, which is just below the waist.
And by the way, getting your hands on it was not easy?
Not easy, no. I was trying to buy it from the guy right off the bat, but he said, no, we just signed a consignment form with the owner, and
didn't want to give it away.
It's got to go in. They didn't want to give it away. Every auction house thinks that they might have something great, but this was marked at 1,000 to 1,500 euros. And if they knew that this was by Guercino, that would not be the estimate.
Would you wind up paying for it?
49,000 euros, equivalent to about 70,000 in that time period.
So,
with a partner, by the way.
70 grand.
Yes.
So, what do we find out about it?
Well, we found out that not only its value is valued in the millions. I don't know exactly how much, but it is definitely valued in the millions.
Did you know it? Did you sense that
I knew it was an important. I really didn't think about the monetary value. At the time, I was thinking more about, I can't believe that I own a Guercino. It's like, you know, when I was growing up and going to school and studying,
Yeah.
I would go to museums and I would look at these paintings on the wall. And if I would get too close, they would yell at me for getting too close. But as a painter, I wanted to see the technique and how they did it. So now I'm allowed to get very close.
Beautiful.
To these paintings.
Before I let you out of here, real quick,
Yes.
the film.
Film, Lily of the Feast. Yes. I added another discipline to my life, you know, like I need something else,
Right.
Which is directing. I've been writing and directing since 2006. This is my first feature film. I've done other short films that have won awards. This is my first feature film and has some wonderful actors in it. Paul Sorvino is in it. David Proval, who played Richie Aprile in Sopranos. There he is. That's David.
There he is.
And a wonderful actor that a lot of people don't know. His name is Troy Garrity. He plays the lead in it. He is Jane Fonda's son, a phenomenally gifted, talented actor.
It's about the mob 1973 in Brooklyn?
1973 in Brooklyn, that's right. That's right. It revolves around a banker, and his father-in-law is a knockaround guy, sort of gets him embroiled in a scheme to steal $60,000 from the boss in the area.
A knockaround guy, I mean, he's not in, but he's
Right.
hanging around.
That's right, but he makes his bones, and you know, there's a
Understood.
really great twist at the end.
And this is independent, and we can expect to hear more about it in the future?
That's right. Writer Michael Risigliano, phenomenal writer. Everything starts in the writing, as you know.
Last question.
Yep.
James Gandolfini.
Oh, my God. What can I say, man? You know, he was a gentleman.
Why that reaction?
Why? Because I still can't believe it. I still can't believe that that Jim is gone. And you know, he was one of the most generous people that I've ever met, on and off screen. He cared about all of the people working next to him, more so than he did about himself. He was just a phenomenal person, and he's greatly missed. I miss him every day. Can't pick up the phone anymore and call him.
We very much appreciate you taking the time to be with us. And
thank you.
You're a great guest, and consider yourself a friend of our show, a friend of PBS.
Thank you so much.
Stay right
it's
there.
really a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
One-on-One will continue right after this. Thank you.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by Virtua, Bloomfield College, PSE&G, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, Cohn Resnick, Fedway Associates, and by the law firm of Gibbons, P.C. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.